And we are live 6 minutes early. I don't care. It's not get done. I've been sitting here. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to talk about it. I'm really putting it out there. Today, we're going to take a look at some of the stats, talk about each player, go through the stats, talk about Brock Purdy, the running backs, the wide receivers, the defense. We're going to do that. And then we're going to go through the latest reactions from what we hear about around the NFL about the 49ers, such as like McCaffrey's injury, what Ed McCaffrey had to say about McCaffrey, things like that. We're going to go ahead and go through that. But before we jump into that news, we are sponsored by water. Water's good for y'all, okay? Water is good for y'all. All right, let me go ahead and bring the chat up just in case. Got to bring up the chat right now. Hold on. Hope you're all doing well. Be sure to like the live, guys. It helps out the stream a lot, helps me grow. You know, one day we will be monetized. And I say we because this show cannot be nothing. It's nothing without you. So let's go ahead and I don't really plan on this show being an hour. It's just kind of like things I just want to get off my chest. And maybe you got some things that you want to get off your chest, and then we'll just go from there. It could be a 10-minute live. It could be an hour. Let's just go through it. So the 49ers lost to the Bills. And one second. The entire season is summed up can be summed up in many words. And I really don't think it can be summed up in one word, but I do feel like it can be summed up in an action. And you're probably wondering yourself, what kind of action could you possibly express that you think to yourself, okay, this totally explains the season? Well, I got you. That's the season summed up pretty much in just one action there. And I hope that summed it up very well. The San Francisco 49ers lose to the Buffalo Bills, and it's just bad. We'll go through everything real quick. So let's just go through everything. Losing the Bills was expected. It truly is, but it just seems like even in the expectations, things that happen throughout the year, you just don't see coming. And I don't want to bring this up as an excuse or a reason why the 49ers are losing, because it's just such bad taste. But I'm just talking about all the bad shit that's happened. So let's go through it. From the Super Bowl, I mean, literally from the Super Bowl all the way up until this Bills game, it's just constant bad news. Every fucking week, something bad happens. There has been nothing good about this season. I cannot tell you how bad this season has been. It is the worst season I have ever been a part of as a 49ers fan. And there is not one good thing that's happened for the 49ers this season. I guess, I take that back. There's probably one good thing you could probably argue, which is the rookies. The rookies look like studs. They look like future stars. And yeah, I'm just totally, I'm all for it. And not all for it, but it's just, I'm super glad with those rookies. But the rest outside of that, man, it's just been a cataclysm of just constant bullshit after another. It's just a constant game changer. From Ward and Trent losing their family members, which is really sad. Rest in peace to those guys. And I'm not saying like they need to be back. What the fuck? I'm saying that's just such a crazy thing. Pearsall gets shot. That's insane. He's out for multiple weeks. Christian McCaffrey has a man curse. That's crazy. Nick Bosa gets hurt. Deommodore Lenoir. I can't remember the 49ers being fully healthy, being fully loaded for this season. Not at any point, not in the offseason, not during training camp, not during preseason, not at any point throughout the season. It's just been a constant unraveling where, honestly, if whatever we get from this season is just a blessing, okay? To anyone who's thinking like Kyle Shanahan should be fired for this season is fucking ridiculous. The reason why I say that is because no head coach with everything that's happened can do anything with this team. Not even Andy Reid. Sean McVay couldn't do anything with this team. It is from players holding out to them being injured to other players being injured to just bad news here and there, just like crazy coincidences. There is nothing a head coach could do with this team. And if there's ever a win with this team, it is a blessing, because there's no fucking way you can look at everything that's happened in this season and think to yourself, okay, well, we should have done this, we should have done that. Like, no, it's just a constant nightmare. This is a nightmare of a season. I have never been part of a season like this. I've been around with Chip Kelly. I've been around with Jim Tomsula. I've been around when Mike Singletary had to step in to be the coach. I've seen it all, dude. I've seen it all. I've seen 49ers 2020 season. I have never, ever, 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 ever seen or been a part of a team that's been through what the 49ers have been through. And if you guys want to call this season a wash, go right ahead. I still think we can make the playoffs. There's still things we can do. But like, we need to, after resting on it, sleeping on it, and thinking about it, this season's a wash. Anything that you want to hold someone against in this season, outside of Deebo Samuel, because Deebo Samuel is like the one person who's been relatively healthy throughout the year and has like literally no fucking excuse. Outside of Deebo Samuel, everyone else pretty much has an excuse. This season's a wash. And I think that everyone who thinks this guy should get fired, this guy gets fired, it's like, no, dude, this is a season from hell. It is a constant, and I mean constant, bullshit. The weeks where we win, something bad happens. We beat the Patriots, Fred Warner fractures his ankle. There is nothing good that has ever come out of the season. The only thing that's ever come good out of the season, now that I think about it, is the Jets game. We beat Aaron Rodgers. Fuck that guy. That's like the one good thing I can hang my hat on. And the rookies, of course. Outside of that, this season is something that 49ers fans are going to have to put behind them and not chalk it up to, oh, this person's fault, oh, this guy needs to be fired, oh, this guy needs to be, like, no. This entire season has been nothing but just bullshit after bullshit after bullshit, unlucky after unlucky after unlucky. It's just been this cataclysm effect. And I think that I even feel justified as a 49ers fan to actually call it a wash. And that anybody who wants to say, oh, the 49ers suck and they were always going to suck, that's not true. And I can comfortably lay my head on my pillow and believe that and know it. This season is just something we have never seen before. I have never been a part of something like this. And it's just crazy. If we make the playoffs, that's a fucking blessing in itself. That is a credit to Kyle Shanahan if we make the playoffs. All right. The fact that we even got 5 wins with this fucking team is insane. It is insane. And I've never seen anything like it. That's all I can keep saying. And let's get a couple comments in here. Josh Allen was in that ass. People really think Brock Purdy, he is a top 5 quarterback, actually. He is. You know, you can only do so much with what you got. Tyler Hilton, yo, what up, what up, what up, what up? Papa J in the house. Samuel Gamer says, hi, I'm high. Thank you for asking. I'm fine, just venting, just putting some thoughts out there, trying to, you know, just this safe space, just putting my thoughts out there, what I think is happening, and what I think of this season as a whole after sleeping on it, and just being like, this is a wash. This is something that I don't think someone could put into a like, oh, well, this happened in 2024, so you can hold this against this person. It's like, no, this was just the most craziest, like unluckiest team I've ever fucking seen. It's the most unluckiest thing I've ever seen in my life. There are things that happen that don't actually happen to normal fucking teams. Outside of injuries too, Pearsall getting shot. And again, I don't want to say this like, and this is such bad taste, but I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. But like Ward losing his daughter, Trent losing his kid and stuff like that. It's just like, there are so many things where it's just been a constant nightmare for the 49ers. I never would have expected something like this in my entire lifetime, having a season like this. It is the most mind-blowing thing. Like you think that like, okay, something's happening before the offseason and then there's going to be some time. Like, no, every single week there has been something, and I mean something, that holds the 49ers back from doing anything good. There's always something, between the 49ers not helping themselves to literally things by chance happening to them. I have never seen anything. It's like it's crazy. Like you can almost, there was a trifecta of signs almost, and I brought this up a couple of lives ago, like maybe a couple months ago. The Super Bowl hangover, right? The Madden curse, and then there has to be a new curse that we need to set up, which is the 17-0 favorites. Before the season started, we were 17-0 favorites. There wasn't one game that we were not favored in. And yet this season happens. And then not to mention things that the league set themselves up for, such as, I can't tell you, I don't remember how many teams there were, but there's multiple teams, like 4 or 5 teams coming off a bye to face the 49ers. That is 2 weeks of preparation to another team who's had 6 to 7 days of preparation. That is insane. The Bills, they had 2 weeks of preparation, getting recovered, and got all their players back except for Keon Coleman. It's everything. There's not one thing throughout this entire year that has favored the 49ers. You cannot tell me one thing. Actually, again, I keep saying you can't tell me one thing. There's only one thing, and that is the rookies. The rookies have been the only bright spot this entire year where we could think to ourselves, okay, there's no fucking way in hell, and I truly believe that there's no way in any fucking world can this season repeat itself. That would be the most unlucky thing on the face of the earth. Unlucky things face the earth. I think Brock Purdy, he looks like he's not healthy 100%. It's possible. I don't even blame Brock Purdy for that, even though I knew and I called it. I said it before the game. It is snowing, and Brock has one issue, and that's holding onto the ball sometimes. And he fumbled, and he did that. I called it. Papa J, Sam, we're showing some love like that. Purdy 10-2 in a cold. Why were they not throwing to Kittle? That's just the game plan, man. If you got Kittle having to play 6 offensive linemen, most of the time, it's always been a Kittle. Kittle's always been scarcely used. He has never been like a focus ever. It's just the thing that's happened. It's just always been like that. Yeah, exactly. He says, Papa J says he's just too busy blocking for the O-line. So I think you guys need to draft a new kicker and draft O-line. 110%, man. O-line's always been the kind of an issue. The kicker thing is crazy, dude. I mean, holy shit. I understand it was snowing, but to miss both of those, it's a season from hell, guys. It is a season. I'm just imploring you guys. I'm asking you guys to just try to understand that this is something unprecedented. This is something we have not seen before. It's true. I can't think of another team that has been through worse than the 49ers have this year. I cannot think of another team on top of my head. This is worse than 49ers 2020 because all they had was dealing with was injuries. Fucking 49ers are dealing with things that like are in God's hands, okay? They're dealing with things that are so out of their control, right? It is mind-boggling how bad like God was just like, you try going to the Super Bowl, man, but you got to pay the piper. It's like as if somebody sacrificed something and it was like, okay, well, you got to pay the devil sometime. You got to pay the piper at some point, and this is that year. I'm not even kidding. This feels supernatural on some level of how unlucky this team is. I mean, Kyle Juszczyk hasn't fumbled since 2018. He gets to that fucking that touchdown almost inches away from it and fumbles. There's just so many things. And that was like a small minor thing I brought up. It's just one thing I think of sometimes, like I've thought about a couple times already, where it's just like, I can't believe he fumbled on that goal line. That's crazy to me. Christian McCaffrey looking like his old self. He started to look like his old self there in that game. He was like, okay, maybe we got some Christian McCaffrey back. Okay, this is looking pretty good. And the moment that we started looking up, it started looking like, okay, we might be in this game. Christian McCaffrey injures his leg, PCL, and most likely he's out for the rest of the season. It is something unfathomable. I have never seen anything like it. So crazy, dude. This is so crazy. I think Purdy's not worth the big contract. We need a good mobile QB like Allen and Mahomes type QB. Well, I mean, Allen and Mahomes QBs are not growing on trees. I mean, you literally just named top two QBs in the league. So it's not fair to be like, hey, we need to go find Allen and Mahomes. It's like you can't just find those, right? Even if you don't think Brock Purdy's a top 5 quarterback, I do think he is. Just look at the circumstance he's working with, though. However, come back to it. You don't just find a top 2 QB. It's not that simple. It's not that easy. Or if so, then like literally the 49ers would be a lot worse, and Brock Purdy would look a lot worse. So I think Brock Purdy does deserve that contract. He does deserve to be our quarterback. Everything that happened in this season is just a wash. Okay. Everything there's just, if you even want to take out the 49ers not helping themselves in games, there are things outside of their control that happens that's totally against them. I am shocked now that I think about it. The fact that Kyle Shanahan was even able to win 5 games with this fucking team with everything going against them, that's props to him. You guys might not want to do that, but I'm fucking doing it because I don't think a single fucking head coach, not one fucking head coach, would have a positive record right now with this team. The injuries are insane. The injuries are insane. The luck is just so far off. It's almost as if we're paying the piper. We're paying for something that we paid for last year to go to the Super Bowl. It's like we paid for something. Like we do not have any luck. This team has zero luck, has negative luck. It's crazy. Val in the host. I am high. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. Almost my daughter, Keaton T-Bill team, and the Eagles look to get to the Super Bowl. I think I don't want the Eagles going to the Super Bowl. I want the Lions to do it. If the Lions can do it, that'd be great. Right tackle, main thing we need to draft. Pick up a wide receiver first round last year was a bad. Right tackle was drafted in the first round last year. Let's see how Pearsall responds. He actually looks pretty hot. I liked him. And then they ended up drafting an offensive lineman who was a guard, and I do believe that 49ers should draft a tackle over a guard any possible day, but they did get a possible future all-pro guard in Dominic Puni. So they did something right, but I do agree that you should have at least reached for a right tackle and tried. I think there too as well. But we'll see what Pearsall turns out to be if Ayuk continues to be a failure and stuff like that. If Pearsall turns out to be like a top 5, top 10 wide receiver in the end, that's actually a good pick. It actually is a good pick. And I honestly, if you also want to be real about it, looking at this season, if the 49ers drafted a tackle in the first round, I don't think it would have made much difference this year. I don't think it would have helped us just because, again, I don't think one thing would have helped this team suddenly become a positive win team. I think that us drafting wide tackle would have been great. I mean, we would have worked on it, but I feel like we'd be in the same boat. I still think we'd be 5-7. I still think everything would be bad just because everything has gone wrong for this team on so many levels. It is, again, I have not seen anything like it. I have not seen anything like it. I heard about the lots of some players of 49ers fans get Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is no, anyone who says get Aaron Rodgers is fucking dumb. Sorry. I probably shouldn't say that. That's rude. I'm held to a higher standard. Can't say that. But Aaron Rodgers is washed. He is dumb. Any 49ers fan is saying that. I don't know why you're saying that. Why you'd want Aaron Rodgers. The dude is worse than Zach Wilson. Literally. He is terrible. And I kind of like that. Kind of makes me happy. Kind of puts a smile on my face because I do hate Aaron Rodgers. So even if Aaron Rodgers was the same, I still wouldn't want my team because I fucking hate that dude. Absolutely. Debo fumble also. Yeah. Debo is like the only guy I feel like this entire year that has on the team that has zero excuse. You know what I mean? Like he's been the main target in games. He's been the main focus in games. He's touched the ball significantly. I believe I got to check, but I'm pretty sure he's touched the ball more than any player on the 49ers that's not the quarterback. I'm pretty confident in that. This dude is terrible. Debo Samuel is a terrible player. He is not good. He's only good, and Papa J disagrees with me, but I saw it last night. He has potential there. He's a good kick returner. He's a good punt returner. He can do those things. But, like, my Lord, and Larry Kruger said it right. Like, he just needs 5 or 6 steps to really get himself going, and then he pops off. He can't do anything short range. Larry Kruger brought that up, and I totally agree with that. It's just, if you're asking Debo Samuel to be a running back or a wide receiver, he has no burst. Screens mean nothing now, right? Him playing running back mean nothing now. It's wild to me, the drop off of Debo Samuel, and then not to mention the hype that in training camp. Debo Samuel's looked great. Debo Samuel has never looked better. Debo Samuel in training camp looks super fit. He's going to have a dominant year. My fucking ass, dude, and it's big. Okay? Fucking bullshit. Like, he sucks, dude. He is terrible. And he doesn't even take responsibility for it on his own fucking podcast. I hate it, dude. The dude needs to stop getting the ball. And I feel like he's slowly stopped getting it. I think for the past 2 weeks or so, Kyle Shanahan has a little bit slowed down on Debo Samuel. He's not the same. he sucks. Like, and not even like in a way of like a small drop off. It's a huge drop off. And the only bright side you could possibly look at, because the trend of Deebo Samuel is this is literally the trend of Deebo Samuel. I could bring up his entire season. 2019 is rookie season. Not bad for a rookie. Actually played really well. 2020 shit. 2021 he actually played really well, which was his season, which he got his big ass contract after that. He was like he had 8 touchdowns as a running back, 1,400 something yards receiving, etc., something like that, right? Elite season, got paid. Terrible season the next year, 2022. Then in 2023, he wasn't quite the same, but he was still good. Like, he was good, right? He wasn't like a great receiver, but he was good for screens. He was good at the running back's position. He was good for jet sweeps, etc. But now this year, it's all taken away. It's all gone. So maybe next year, he'll turn it on if the trend keeps going the way it is. Because he either has a good year, then bad, good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. That's Deebo. That's been it. But right now, we currently have a $25 million punt returner, kick returner. That's how I see it. Whew. Deebo from love. Val, what up, Michael? Oh, hey, showing some love. Papa J engaging. I like that. I love talking about sports football. So do I, man. I do too. And even though this is negative and stuff like that, but this is just to get off my chest. Whatever you guys feel, get off your chest and stuff. I do my best not to combat you. If I disagree with you, I disagree with you. But like, this is such a crazy season. And in my opinion, it's just a wash, dude. There's nothing you can look at this season and say, hey, they should have done this and they should have done that and they should have done this, and it would be enough. Right? There's just too much things that are outside of the control of the 49ers that it's downright impossible to overcome. Hit that like button if you support me. If you want to show some love, appreciate it. We need a new center, cornerback, safety. I don't think we need a corner because I think we got Renardo Green, Diamador Lenore. I think you kind of maybe need a slot, maybe. But you got Luter Jr. that's still working his way to be a player as well. Cornerback, I feel like it should be O-line, edge. Edge is such a big deal. Edge is way more of a priority, I believe. Same thing with D-tackle is more of a priority than corner. Linebacker almost even, because we don't know what Greenlaw is going to be. We know what John Vondre Campbell is. He fucking sucks ass, not in a good way. D. Winters is and Bethune, we don't even know what the fuck he is either. So I feel like before corner, those are like all the positions we need to address first. Wide receiver, obviously, is something we should not address because we got Pearsall and Cowing, and we need to work on that development. So wide receiver is not a priority. Backup tight end, even, I feel like is more important because George Kittle is 31 years old. So we do need a backup tight end. It's very crucial that we go into the season and get a backup tight end that could take his place in the future, a development tight end. That'd be great. I would like that a lot. And then running back is fine. CMC is going to be back next year with his restructured contract. Hopefully, I think he might be done just because of the PCL injury along with the Achilles tendonitis. But that's just my personal belief. I have nothing to back that up. That is just I think that's going to happen. If not, he's going to be back next year for sure. And Jordan Mason will be an RFA, but we might end up keeping him just depending on the situation, how much he wants to get paid. But I do think he's going to get paid like $10 million. Someone's going to offer him like $10 million. Someone, because he's a top 10 running back in this league. Jordan Mason is. He's actually a really good running back, and he's going to be a starter somewhere. And I don't think it's going to be here, but that RFA might save us because they do have to give up a pick, even if they give him $10 million. So that really just depends at that point. But I would love to keep Jordan Mason, but I don't think we are. And then running back, you got the rookie running back, Isaac Grendo, who's shown some flash. I think he has a clutch trait. So running back is not going to be something we should address. So, yeah, I got backup tight end, offensive lineman, and center and right tackle, and then D end for sure. Those are like the major ones, I feel like. Huff over Brown. I like Brown still. I think Brown just had that one bad game. I don't think he played great last game. A lot of people are down on him, but I don't think he's played that bad. He had like one weird blunder against I can't remember what team it was. It was like early on in the year. I can't remember what it was, but he ran into Renardo Green, who was supposed to cover a receiver, and I don't remember who it was. I guess it was against Dallas Cowboys, I think. And then CeeDee Lamb broke out for he made that blunder. I remember that. Drew Eller was looking good in a 49er red. I don't know who that is. Who's that? Is it good? Is he a good prospect? Is he a right tackle? Is he a center? Is he a backup tight end? Heck, is he a corner? Aaron Rodgers diva, John McQueen, he had cancer. He's straight up, dude. He got everyone fired. That's fucking blows my mind. Where's Brandon Ayuk? He tore his MCL and ACL. He's out for this year. And it wouldn't have mattered anyway if he was still in the season. No offense to Brandon Ayuk, but he was not the same this year. He was a below average wide receiver this year. He was terrible. I told Rondo we will finish 8-9. That's not bad. At the start of the year, that sucks. But if you're saying that now, I wouldn't put it past it. I still think we can make the playoffs 10-7, 9-8. It's unlikely because you still have to face the Giants. We still have to face the Lions. But if we can beat the Bears, I think we can beat the Bears. They have problems. They have an interim head coach. We can beat them. We can beat the Dolphins, and we can beat the Rams and Cardinals. So that'll put us 9-8, right? So I don't think it's over. I really don't. It's just, if you want to say he's 9-8, fine. If you want to think we're going to lose every single game from here on out, fine. That's okay. But I still believe there's still a window there because you got to keep in mind the Bears also are down and out with problems. The Dolphins are on and off, and the 49ers tend to beat the Dolphins. They just have a thing for them. Kyle Shanahan has Mike Daniels' number. And the Rams and Cardinals game, we could have won those games, but obviously we choked with a 10-point lead. But divisional games are not the same as other games, so we can still win those. I think we can go 9-8, and 9-8 can still win us the division. Our punter could be out for the year. Yeah, most likely that back injury is crazy. Apparently he was working out too much and he hurt his back. It's crazy. He's a QB from Pitt. Nah, I think we should keep Brock Purdy. I like Brock Purdy. You think this team could beat 4 more teams? Yes, I do. I do think that. I think you could beat the Bears who are falling apart. I think the 49ers could beat the Dolphins. I think the 49ers could beat the Rams and Cardinals. I think they can do that. I love Brandon Ayuk, who's playing at Arizona State University. I think you told me that about that. Yeah. I like Brandon Ayuk. I like Brandon Ayuk too. I really do. It's just that this year he had the whole situation was just bad for him. It was just bad. Dolphins could be a trap game for us. It could be a trap game for them. They should be favored. Dolphins, every team should be favored against the 49ers from here on out. Truly. I don't think it'll be a trap game for the Dolphins. I think it's just going to be 2 bad teams playing against each other. 49 meet in the house. Good to see you. No Bosa, no Trent, no CMC for the foreseeable future. Well, Bosa might be back. We don't know about Bosa. Trent, understandably, losing your son, sad. Probably going to be out without Trent. But Jalen Moore, surprisingly, has been playing better than expected. So there is that. Season is done. It says 49ers media. We are the 49er faithful, 49er media. We are the faithful. So as long as we're still in it, we're still in it. Okay? I'm a 49ers faithful through and through, which requires belief. And I'm going to believe that this team can still beat the Bears, still beat the Dolphins, can beat the Rams, and can beat the Cardinals. The Lions won fine. That's most likely a loss, 110%. All right? They did almost lose to the Bears. But I digress. Season's not done. Until it says you are disqualified from the playoff contention, season's over. Until we lose if we lose to the Bears, if we lose to the Dolphins, if we lose to the Rams, if we lose to the Cardinals, either one of those, fine. That's when I'll cave because we need those W's to go to the playoffs. So if we lose the Bears, Dolphins, Rams, or Cardinals, I will jump on the ship of, okay, it's over, right? Unless the Seattle Seahawks, Rams, and Cardinals lose a game that I predicted them to win, that's how I feel about it. Purdy is not it, man. I've been a Niner fan for 29 years. It's about what's best for the team, and Purdy isn't good enough. The dude on the other side last night is what you need in today's game. Nobody. Okay, we got to stop. We have to stop with we don't have a Josh Allen. We don't have Patrick. Those are literally top 2, top 3 quarterbacks. Those don't fall out of the tree. Like you're comparing Brock Purdy to top 3 quarterbacks. You're comparing that. You're saying to us that you could just find a top 3 quarterback like that. That doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Brock Purdy, however, he is the man. He is the guy. I have watched so many 49ers football. I haven't seen a good quarterback like this since Steve Young. All right. I think he's better than Jeff Garcia. I think Jeff Garcia, respectively, is actually a pretty good quarterback for people to give him credit for. But I digress. Brock Purdy is amazing. I love Brock Purdy. And if I am not going to put this season on Brock Purdy, that is fucking wild. That would be a wild thing to do. Be like, okay, we're not winning games because of Brock Purdy. Oh, we lost the Bills because of Brock Purdy would be a wild take. That is insane to me. The only person you can look at this year and be like, what the fuck? You need to be fired. We need to find a new guy. There's only one fucking player on this team that you need to look at and be like, okay, dude. Okay, dude. And that is Deebo Samuel. He's the only fucking player you need to look at him and be like, okay, you're replaced. You need to be replaced. Because he's not even playing like a top 10 wide receiver, top 15, top 20, top 30. He is not a number one wide receiver. Not even a number two, I don't even think at this point. He's terrible. He's the only one I feel like you could say, hey, fuck that guy. People overreact when it comes to Purdy. It's just the thing. We're losing games. People want to blame the quarterback, say this. And it's just, I don't see how you can do that if you want to be like, oh, we need to go out and get ourselves a Mahomes. Those don't fall out of the trees, dude. Those don't just happen. You don't just get a GOAT who's, you could argue, top 3 quarterback of all time. I think he's number 2. Patrick Mahomes is the number 2 quarterback of all time. So people want to put Joe Montana ahead of Patrick Mahomes, makes him top 3. And then Josh Allen, who's literally playing like an MVP candidate. Last year, Brock Purdy was an MVP candidate. And then in a year where everything goes wrong, in a year where there's not one thing that's gone right that would help the quarterback, or like you could say it's the quarterback's reason why we lost. There's not one game. And you want to jump ship from Purdy. He just had an MVP candidate year last year. That's wild, dude. That's wild. That's wild. Niners all damn day. Let's go. Because that's what you need, and you keep looking until you have one. We do have one. We have one in Brock Purdy. But if you're saying like we need to keep going until we find a top 2 quarterback, that's wild. Because then you're going to spend forever looking for one. You're going to spend fucking forever. Unless you're telling me there's one guaranteed in every single year, which there's not, okay, then yeah, I'd agree with you, but that's not the case. They come like once every 10 years. A Patrick Mahomes comes around the corner. A Josh Allen comes around the corner. It's not common. It's not. And Brock Purdy, whether you like him or not, was an MVP candidate last year, has done incredible throws, has elevated this offense. Has elevated his team. He is a great quarterback. I think he's top 5. We get rid of him, that'd be fucking stupid. If he's he's got to be a top 10 quarterback. That's wild. He's better than Dak Prescott. He's better than Jalen Hurts. He deserves that money. Anyone that says Jalen Hurts, like, go look at the stats, bro. Go look at the stats. And you tell me that Jalen Hurts as a quarterback is better than Brock Purdy. It's not. He's never has been his quarterback. The only thing Jalen Hurts has is the tush push and his running ability. Outside of that, the moment you blitz him, force him to throw the ball, he's ass. Right now, he has Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, a top 5 offensive lineman, fucking Dallas Goedert, and who else? Did I ever say Saquon Barkley? He has the greatest weapons that any quarterback can possibly ask for in the NFL right now. And he doesn't have a single quarterback stat. Top 3. Brock Purdy, I think the last year team compared to the Eagles team this year, I think the Eagles team would be better than that 49ers team last year. Brock Purdy was first in multiple categories. Multiple categories. He made plays with his weapons when he threw the ball. Jalen Hurts makes plays with tush pushes and read options, and Saquon Barkley constantly saving his ass. Crazy. He's amazing. Niners all damn day. You can see it. He is amazing. Right-handed Tua. I wouldn't say right-handed Tua. I think he's significantly better than Tua. I've seen Young played at my high school back in the 80s, Greenwich. Nice. That's cool, man. That's cool. Deebo is straight trash. He's ass, dude. He's like, Kyle at first was just constantly trying to give him the ball and just kind of like, hey, let's throw him the ball and shit like that. And it's just, he's not a wide receiver, dude. But the moment he crosses the line of scrimmage, stop trying to throw him the ball. He needs to be like your last read or third read or some shit. The fact he's ever the first read blows my mind. So, bro, Deebo doesn't play QB. I don't care about the wide back. I care about QB. This team will not win with that Purdy straight up. I'm going to have to agree to disagree with you, man. We're going to have to agree to disagree because Brock Purdy is that guy. And Deebo Samuel, if you are a shit wide receiver, it doesn't matter how good your quarterback is, unless you're Patrick fucking Mahomes. Okay, it does. There's no way. There's no way. So I don't know why you think the quarterback is an important job. There's a lot on their hands. I do agree with you on that. But if you want to be naive and be like, okay, this situation here, he needs to be better here. He needs to be better here. He needs to be better than Kyle Shanahan's scheme. He needs to carry everything, and he needs to be the wide receiver. He needs to be the running back. He needs to be the offensive line and all of that. If you want to be that kind of type of guy, that's fine. That is entirely up to you. But quarterback isn't everything. It truly, honestly isn't. He's a top 10 quarterback, top 5 quarterback. He deserves that money. He's elite. He does his job. You can win a Super Bowl with a mid to below mid quarterback. That tells me that not everything is on the quarterback as you make it out to be. Fucking, what's his name? I can't think of it. Jake Plummer, I think, is in one Super Bowl. There's been multiple quarterbacks who are not that great, who are backups, have won. Nick Foles. So not everything is just quarterback. Let's just keep looking. Let's just use 3 first-rounders to trade up for Trey Lance this year. Oh, it didn't work. Let's trade in our next 3 first-rounders to trade up in the draft to try to get Deion Sanders' son, some bullshit like that. You want to sacrifice the future just to get a quarterback when in the end you end up having no offensive linemen, no wide receivers, no running backs, no weapons whatsoever, and you think you're going to win games that way? Wild. Steve Young broke my uncle high school QB records back then. He was a good quarterback, yeah. Yeah, we don't need a QB. We don't need a new QB. QB is not the issue. QB is 110% not the issue. With a healthy team, Brock Purdy is the best quarterback in the league. Statistically, he's the best quarterback in the league. Best quarterback. I am 110% serious. His money is based on the market. There isn't one game that he lost this season. There's isn't one game that he lost this season. I don't know what that means. I had Steve Young mom as a teacher in high school and went to school with Jesus Christ, bro. You're like fucking just in with the Steve Young family, bro. Give me a jersey. Send me a jersey. Corey Clee don't know how the contracts work. Yeah, it's just game changer. What do you think contracts do with what we're talking about? Look at the Trey Lance didn't work out. 49ers took a shot. I know it's just top 5. It's not wild. Last year, he was the MVP candidate last year. No fucking quarterback can take this team, this offense, and how it's playing right now and succeed. There's no quarterback. I even think Patrick Mahomes would be in the same boat right now with Brock Purdy. Same boat. Purdy ain't going nowhere. No Purdy. Purdy's staying. I like it. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Purdy is staying. Purdy's my man, dude. I love Purdy. I have seen Colin Kaepernick. I have seen all of – I can't think of all of them. There's Colin Kaepernick, Josh Johnson. I'm trying to think some other – where's some other crazy – I've seen multiple quarterbacks play. Brock Purdy has it. He has the it factor. You can count on him making plays. You can count on him when he throws a ball. Yeah, sometimes doesn't work out, but it happens to every quarterback, even Patrick Mahomes. But there's times like, oh my God, how do you make that play? Oh my God, he thread that needle. Oh my God, his ability to throw over linebackers and just like pull it in, insane. When he gets sacked and throws it, most of the time it's a dime, dude. He gets pressured, pretty sure more than any fucking quarterback I've ever seen. He will literally throw a ball off his back foot and throw an absolute dot. Bro is fucking good. He is a great quarterback. He is elite. This year, can't back that up. If you want to say he's not, nothing about that. Last year, though, 110% elite quarterback. There's nothing you can argue about that. There's nothing you could possibly say to say that he wasn't. Last year, he was a top 5 quarterback, whether you like it or not. MVP candidate. Oh, and before you say, well, he threw 4 interceptions against the Ravens, Peyton Manning has thrown 6 in a game before. 6. It's not what you do in one game. It's what you do from multiple games. Okay, you're allowed to have a bad game. Heck, you're allowed to have a bad season. Look at Josh Allen. Didn't have the greatest season last year. This year, insane. MVP caliber player. You're allowed to have a bad year, but it's what you do consistently. And consistently, Brock Purdy has always come through, always been elite, always been amazing. This year, I'm going to hold nothing to them. This year, nobody gets anything held against them this year. The only player, like I said, for the 100th time, is Deebo Samuel. He's the only one that deserves criticism that I can possibly think of on the top of my head. That's a staple to the team. So, like, you could criticize Leonard Floyd, you could criticize Devondre Campbell, et cetera, blah, 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 blah. But I meant, like, the Kittles, the what's supposed to be Ayuk's and all that. Ayuk is out for the rest of the season, so we don't even know if he could have redeemed himself or not. But Deebo, from game one to now, has just been the worst fucking thing on the planet. He is the worst player at wide receiver. He's Deebo Samuel of wideback. Not Deebo, he is the Ronnie Bell of widebacks. Okay? He's the Ronnie Bell of fucking screens and jet sweeps. He sucks. He sucks. We're not. Look, Brock Purdy's a rookie deal, and he's still young. His coaching for Kyle's an issue. He's never been placed in a stacked roster until he choked all 3-4 interceptions against Ravens. Oh, well, I already just covered that. Everyone has bad games. People forget these guys are humans too. Yeah, I know. I'm willing to bet the Jets would take Brock Purdy. Oh, they would. Exactly, Papa J. I'm willing to bet the Raiders would take Brock Purdy. They would, 110%. All due respect, but you all can all call me naive if you call Parker in the top 5 in the same breath. This Chad is going to be bummed when we have a new QB next season or they make him play his contract out. Yeah, definitely. If we got a new quarterback next year and then we sacrifice 3 first-rounders again and do the same fucking bullshit and not take the top 5, the literal MVP candidate last year, and not give him his money in a year where everything is terrible, that would be dumb. I would be bummed. You're not wrong. I would be bummed. That would bum me out. I doubled down saying half a breath. I got it. I think Lamar Jackson is better than Jalen Hurts. I think so too. I think Jalen Hurts is just discount Lamar Jackson, 110%. I have a Stephen Young jersey, autograph rookie, and regular card, and 49. Oh, fuck. Dude, that's dope, bro. I'm Jelly Belly. That's because you're like 25. I'm 36. I'm 36 years old. Pretty fucking old. But I take that as a compliment, man. I drink a lot of water. Sponsorship. Water. Drink your water, okay? Lotion. Lotion's great. Get some facial lotion for you, man. It's great, fantastic. And wash your face like 3 times a day, bro. You get clear skin. I'm not even using a touch-up feature right now. So thank you, Corey. I appreciate it. That was actually very nice, man. You just made my day. Thank you, man. I am 11 years younger. That's dope. That's dope. All we need is to get Shanahan out. If you guys want to hand Shanahan, that's fine. That's fine. I don't think this year he's been playing very great, but I don't think I think everyone deserves, like I said, a pass this year. That's just my opinion. I think I do believe that Kyle Shanahan should be on the hot seat next year, though, because if he repeats this shit and this stuff doesn't, like, I can't imagine everything that's happened to the 49ers this year continuing on to next year. So he's definitely going to be on the hot seat. Like, okay, just how much was it your fault that we were losing games? And next year might be it. We'll see. We'll see how he does next year. Purdy is capped Jimmy G 2.0. I've seen this story before. I strongly disagree. Purdy makes plays that Cap and Jimmy G could never make. He makes throws that Jimmy G and Cap could never make. He can actually read a defense. He actually has anticipation, actually trusts his wide receivers. He trusts his reads. Most importantly, he trusts himself all the time. You know, he's got some Brett Favre in him, sure. Like, he makes some dangerous throws here and there, but he threads the needle. People don't understand that. A lot of people want to bash on Purdy. This has been like a Purdy live pretty much, but they want to put so much on the quarterback. But when you're last in separation, that means Brock Purdy, out of all 32 quarterbacks, has to thread the needle more so than anyone. More so than any other quarterback in the league. More than Patrick Mahomes, more than Josh Allen, more than Daniel Jones, more than any fucking quarterback you could possibly name. Brock Purdy is, throughout the entire year, has had to throw needles every single time, every single game. I cannot tell you the last time that Brock Purdy has thrown a ball and somebody was wide open. I cannot tell you the last time I've seen Brock Purdy throw a ball and there was like this much of separation. Like, it's wild, dude. It's wild. The difference between what the scheme that Kyle Shanahan had last year, the scheme that he made up this year, he's doing nothing to help Brock Purdy. I would blame Kyle Shanahan for Brock Purdy's play this year more so than ever Brock Purdy. He's dealing with things that he has zero help. He has had zero help. He's doing so many things on his own. Yeah, it's crazy. Go get Steven's podcast. Yeah, Papa J, fucking 100%. You can get him on here. I will literally, I want you guys to know I am trying to get some interviews with players. One day I'll get there. It's going to happen. But these are players that if I get them, I'm going to probably struggle to interview, but I'll try. I will try. Patrick Willis, I would fucking lose my shit. He's my favorite linebacker, one of my favorite linebackers ever. Frank Gore, Steve Young, obviously, Joe Montana, and Jerry Rice, like those top 5. I will fucking die. Right? I don't know how I would do it. Brock Purdy, too, just because I do believe in Brock. I don't buy jerseys, but I think Brock Purdy jersey is probably the one I'm going to buy in the end at some point. But I don't buy jerseys and stuff because just player turnover constant happens all the time where I feel like I can only enjoy the jersey for so long. But I think Brock Purdy's our franchise quarterback. We're going to have him for a very long time, so I might go out and give me a Purdy jersey sometime at some point, invest in one. But, yeah, so. This is wild. He live. We are not getting a new QB. At least me, 49ers, me and kind of disagree on one thing, which is the season is over. He thinks season's over. I don't think season's over, but I'm glad. I'm so glad, 49er media, that you and I agree that Brock Purdy, Bob J, he is live still. He is live. Don't see Purdy being traded in the multi-universe. Yeah, I know. And Manning won 2 Super Bowls and his Hall of Fame, I think, and it took him a while to win those Super Bowls. He lost in the playoffs. He chokes in the playoffs. Wasn't very good in the playoffs. Ended up having to be carried by the Broncos to win that Super Bowl. You know, he didn't do anything to help them. So, honestly, Peyton Manning, who was a legend, was terrible in that Broncos Super Bowl. He did nothing to help him. And then when Peyton Manning needed to face the Seattle Seahawks in the Super Bowl, do you know what he did that Brock Purdy hasn't done in this Super Bowl he was in? Peyton Manning fucking choked hard. Only scored 8 points. Terrible. And they went up against the number 1 defense, and he was supposed to be the number 1 offense. I think we were the number 1 offense, I believe. We went against the number one defense. Guess what happened? We went into overtime and lost. Peyton Manning got completely blown out. He was irrelevant. And that was his best season he's ever played. Just saying. Papa, I will ask Steve Young when I talk to him. Oh, my God, dude. If you fucking make that happen, bro, you're going to be a mod. I fucking love that, dude. If that happens, I will die, dude. Like, I'm getting giddy just thinking about that. Okay, I need to calm down. It's a Super Bowl hangover, Madden curse, the first round fantasy pick curse. Yeah, it's just crazy, 49ers. It's just crazy, dude. This entire year has just been set up for failure from start to finish. Nothing has gone right for this team from Super Bowl to now. The only thing that's gone right, like I've said multiple times this live, is just the rookies. The rookies have been like the one consistent great thing that you could be like, okay, I think some of them, like in PFF grades, some of them are actually like 27th ranked and like 30-something second ranked. So like right now, they are fringe starters as rookies, except for Pooney. Pooney's actually like a top 10 offensive lineman. So I think who's a player that's not performing that we drafted? Cowing, technically Cowing, not so much. We are using him, but not in the passing game, but just in kickoff stuff like Cowing. We even got Evan Anderson out there. Man, I can't think of is there a rookie we're not using at all? I can't think of a rookie on top of my head we're not using. Everyone is seeing the field. It's real. I will lose my shit, Michael. Before I dated and met Nikita Tebow, mom, my ex-girlfriend was Jeannie Bledsoe. Her uncle was an ex-QB for the Patriots before Brady. God damn, bro. Damn, you know people. I do see Nikita every now and again in here. Good person. She comes up in here and she says some positive stuff. Not always positive, but you know, she's civil. She's nice. I like her. She's cool. You think Jimmy G would be bad if he was Tom Brady, backup QB, and was on a team with a bad or advantage QBs? Spitting out fire. Almost 2 of our stars are injured each game. It's so much more than that. It's like everyone I feel like can agree with this. The top positions on football are quarterback, left tackle, and D end. All 3 of them were out versus the Packers, dude. 2 of them were out versus the Bills. 2 of the hardest teams. I think we practically had only half of Bosa for half a game against the Seattle Seahawks where we would have won. Honestly, if Bosa was not hurt, against the Seattle Seahawks, we would have won that game. I'm confident in that. Because Bosa within the lineup against the Seattle Seahawks, he was shutting things down. Things were happening. But then he got hurt and everything just changed. I know he's killing me, man. You better be real with that shit. Season ain't over till the fat lady sings. Yeah, man. Like what Mufasa said with the Papa J fist bump. Yeah, man. I agree too. Season's not over until it is over. And how the bar that I've set for it to be over is if we lose to the Bears or if we lose to the Dolphins, Rams, and Cardinals, because they're must-win teams. Or the thing that's outside of our control is if the Seattle Seahawks beat teams that I think they're going to lose. Same thing with Cardinals and Rams. But I do think the Cardinals and Rams and Seahawks could falter to like 9 wins. So the window is still technically open, and it's not over yet. We are the Niner faithful. We are the faithful. That means if there's still a possibility, if there's still a chance, I understand everything. Everything has gone wrong. There's just no possible way we can win anything with this team. If this team manages to make the playoffs the way that it was, if you knew, if before the season started and I told you Nick Bosa was going to be out multiple weeks, if I told you that Trent was going to be out multiple weeks, if I told you that Brock Purdy was going to be out at least I think he's been out like 1 game, he's been out 1 game, dealing with an injury. If I told you everything that happened, Pearsall getting shot, all of that, would you have thought that we'd made the playoffs? Would you have told yourself, hey, we're making the playoffs, regardless of all that shit? No CMC, terrible offensive lineman. Like, I don't think you would. I think you would, if you knew everything you knew now before the season started, would you still be like, all right, well, we still should be like a 12-win team? Hell no. Hell no. You'd be like, I'd be happy if we made the playoffs if that happened. But what are the chances of that happening? That's what you would say. So this year is a wash, right? This year is a wash. There's a justification to. It's not like we went to the Super Bowl, we were super awesome, everything was going great, we lost the Super Bowl, and that's the sucky part, right? You're like, oh my God, that sucks, man. And you play it in your head. You're like, oh my God, what the fuck? But this year, you can play those things in your head and be like, okay, that makes sense. No, that makes sense. 49ers 2020 season, the injury crazy. Like, this year is worse than injuries than 2020. Let's be honest. You could be like, okay, well, I can see why that's justified. We were super injured. Everything was going wrong. 2020, whatever. I can see why we can go playoffs. Same thing here. You could literally tell yourself everything that's happened to this team all year. You could literally tell yourself that, and it should be justified. You should look at yourself like, okay, well, this is definitely an anomaly. Okay, this doesn't happen to everyone. And I've said it 1,000 times. This has never, I can't tell. Show me a team in all years of the NFL that they have had the luck the way the 49ers have. Consistently throughout I can't name one. I can't think of one. There's not one team. Milwaukee in the house. Y'all need to go undefeated. That'd be great, dude. I would fucking take that any day of the week, yo. If we go 10-7, that means we beat the Lions, bro. And we beat the Bears. And we beat the Dolphins and all that. Sign me up. But you got to have faith. This is just going to be, it's all faith. It's all faith from here. I like this live. Thank you, Val. I appreciate you. But yeah, man, that's how I felt. I slept on it. I sat there and thought to myself, like, what would other coaches could do with this team? What more could other players really do, right? Other than shooting themselves in the foot. That happened quite a bit, but there's like other things outside their control. I thought to myself, like, you know what? This just makes sense. This is just reality. If we had a worse coach, if we had a worse culture, I don't even think we would have 5 wins at this point. I really don't. I think we would have like 2 or 3 if it was anybody else and with a lesser culture. I think we're lucky to have 5 wins right now. I truly do believe that. Bucks could have beat us. What's another team that could have beat us? Cowboys, I feel like, could have beat us, and that would have been terrible. We won that game. I mean, If they're, you know what? Hey, I just found another bright side. I just thought of a bright side. I just thought of a really cool bright side. We beat the Cowboys. Cowboys are worse than us. And we're in fucking turmoil right now. So there is that. There is that. We beat the Cowboys. Fuck the Cowboys, man. We're here. They're here. So I don't know if you guys hate the Cowboys as much as I do, but they're my top 3 hated team. I got 3 hated teams. I got my top 3 are Steelers, Cowboys, Cowboys, and Seahawks. Those are my top 3 most hated teams. So if any of them do terrible, I'll take it as a bonus. I really do. So it's just Cowboys. Steelers are obviously doing well. Seahawks are doing obviously top in their division, but we can catch up to them. So Muwak says, hey guys, hey. But yeah, it's been an hour. Thank you guys so much to hear me vent. I heard you guys out. Corey, we were going to have to agree to disagree. I'm glad the rest of you guys also still believe in Brock Purdy. That really mends my heart because I truly believe Brock Purdy is still the man. I cannot argue this year that he's a top 5 quarterback. I can't make that argument. I could definitely argue he's top 10. But last year, he was definitely top 5. I don't care what the fuck you say. I can argue that to the death. There's nothing you can say that would take that away from him. This year, though, whatever. But I'm glad you guys have not given up on Brock Purdy. I'm glad that you guys still believe in him because I still believe in him. Christian McCaffrey, though, I think Christian McCaffrey's done. I think he's out for the rest of the – I just between the Achilles bilateral, Achilles tendonitis, the PCL stuff, and legs being just so important to a running back that's what I think is going to happen. There's no real fact behind that. That's just my personal belief with the Christian McCaffrey situation. He can come back next year, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does end up coming back next year and just taking off and defying that odds. That's 110% a possibility. But it just looks grim, for Christian McCaffrey. It just looks really grim for him. And I think that if he comes back from his PCL, he comes back from this Achilles tendonitis, that would be very unique of a player, I think. It's just like that. Let me look at some of these comments that are going on through Twitter right now. One of them was obviously Trent Williams lost his son, which is really sad. Rest in peace. So sorry, man. It really sucks. And what else? Christian McCaffrey's dad. This kind of what he had to say pretty much reinforced my argument when I told you guys that Christian McCaffrey is also forcing himself out there while Kyle Shanahan is also forcing him out there. So it's like two people enabling each other almost. This kind of reinforces that. Ed McCaffrey, Christian McCaffrey's dad, says he has a PCL strain. He'll get an MRI today, and hopefully it's not too serious. I don't like this because I'm pretty sure you can all agree with me when I say this. He needs to rest for the rest of the season, regardless if he's able to come back or not. The dude needs to rest. Okay, he needs to be done for the rest of the season, regardless of what happens this year. And I think you guys can agree with that. But Ed McCaffrey says Christian will continue to play regardless of the 49ers playoff chances. If he's ready to go, he'll go. I don't like that. I do not like that. He needs to rest for the rest of the year. He needs to take a break and let Jordan Mason and Isaac Guerrero do their thing, regardless of what happens. What happened last night? Couldn't catch it. I fell asleep at halftime. We lost 35-10. On the bright side, hey. On the bright side of going 35-10, at least I beat Poggy because we had a tiebreaker and I had the over of 44.5 points. He had the under of 44.5 points. And by Josh Allen scoring that touchdown, dude, he saved me from being down 5-8. Now I'm 6-7. He's 7-6. Poggy right now is just choking away. All right, he had a 2-week lead. I caught up to him. Then he had a 3-week lead. I'm catching up to him. 6-7. Be there for the predictions on Sunday. Before all the games on Sunday, 9 a.m. Pacific time, me and Poggy go live and we do predictions. And he does really well at first, but then he just chokes it all away. And right now, I'm 6-7, he's 7-6, and whoever ends up winning has to do a punishment. We still haven't decided on the punishment yet. We're still figuring that one out. But trust me, we will do the punishment on live television. Not television. On live. We'll do that for sure. So be there for that because that'll be really dope. I have resigned from the rest of the season. This is now the time to tank, address our weaknesses, be the draft, not see the trade, get healthy, and do all things next year. That's all we can hope for. Shannon Lynch are better think about doing that. I don't think it's over. I'm not giving up until we lose the Bears, Dolphins, Rams, and Cardinals. If we lose one of those games, then I'll probably abandon ship because that takes away from our roadmap, right? The roadmap that I have for the 49ers to still make the playoffs. If they were to lose one of those games, then they're out for sure. I would say they're out for sure. So I'm not abandoning it yet. I don't think it's over. I still think this team can still win the division. Seahawks still have some teams they have to face that they could lose to. Same thing with the Cardinals. They lost yesterday against the Vikings, as I predicted. I knew that the Rams were going to beat the Saints. I saw that coming. So if the Rams, Cardinals, and Seahawks fall exactly how I think they're going to fall, and if the 49ers can win the 4 games that I think that they can win, they theoretically win the division. So I am not giving up until one of those things happen, okay? Until the Seahawks beats a team. I guess if the Seahawks, Cardinals, and Rams beats a team that, well, I guess really mainly the Seahawks at this point because the Seahawks were more of a threat at this point. But if the Seahawks beat a team that I expect them to lose to, then that would hurt a lot. But yeah, I'm not out of it. I'm not out of it. But if you want to, I understand. Like it just the window is small, right? It is such a small window. Certain things are outside of our control. But just based on how I looked at the roster of all the teams in the division, not roster, but look at the games in the division, and then just look what the 49ers have to face. They can get 4 W's still. I still see it. I understand, man, but we're one and done in the playoffs. We're terribly hurt. Ward should take the rest of the season off. I know, but like making the playoffs though would just – I feel like that would say a lot for this team. Like, I mean, everything that you could think of that can go wrong for a player, a team, whatever it may be, has gone wrong for this team. So I just think that if we make the playoffs, even if we're one and done, I think it says a lot, and that would be a bonus, right? Like I don't think we're going to win the Super Bowl. I don't think we would even win a playoff game, but it's not even about that. It's just about can this team face adversity and overcome something that I don't think a common coach could overcome. I'll take it. Because guess what? We could be like next year if someone says, oh, your team was ass, next year's going to be ass. I'm like, hey, guess what? We still made the playoffs after everything that fucking happened. Guess what? We still made the playoffs. So there's still things to technically play for. But, yeah, if we lose another game, then, yeah, I'm agreeing with you, Santa Clara. We just need to jump off. We need to just focus on next year, and that just needs to be a thing. Play nothing but rookies from here on out. Fuck all the vets. Like, they need to rest or get cut at the end of the year, etc. That needs to happen. So, sorry, I lost. Open the mountains. Papa J's open the mountains, man. Always film stuff. I just think if we beat the Lions, one of the tougher teams. If we beat the Lions, that's a playoff win in my book. That's a playoff win in my book. Y'all chug the Lions to a loss. They want revenge last. Yeah, they're going to totally destroy us. I'm not going to lie to you guys. The Lions are going to crush us. And if the Lions game is on live television, I will go live. I try to go live for every 49ers game that's on TV. So if we are live, I'll be there for that ass beating. Because, yeah, I think I was I live for the last ass beating against the Green Bay Packers? I think I was. Yeah, I was. So I'll still be here, guys. I'll still be here for the rest of the year. And then in the playoffs, if the 49ers don't go, I'm probably still going to go live, but I'm not going live as a Lions fan, but I'm definitely rooting for the Lions to win the Super Bowl at that point. So take care, Papa G. Good to see you. I have to get out of here too. I got to get out of here. Showing some love like that. Okay, Papa G, have a good Monday. See you on Rondo Sports tonight. Wolfie, can you see my chat? I can see your chat, brother. I see you. Lions versus 49ers on Monday night. Oh, I might actually be live for that. I did not know that was a Monday Night Football. But yeah, so before we get out of here, just a quick recap, man. I mean, between players, between teams I think the 49ers have the most on the road time than any other team. And then not only that, they have to face more teams coming off a bye. I think it's like 4 or 5 of them. One of them was the Green Bay Packers, and one of them was the Bills. Like everything. And then we were also favored the Madden curse, the Super Bowl hangover, the holdouts, Pearsall being shot, the sad things that are happening to Ward and Trent, the injuries. There's just so many things that pretty much told us this season was going to go this way. We just didn't pay attention to the signs. You know what I mean? It just take this season, right? See all that? This is a list of all the shit that's happened to the 49ers this year. Take it, throw it away, move on. This is a wash. Like, this was almost like just meant to happen. And so feel justified in being able to let go of this season. Please, 49ers fans, feel justified in knowing that if this team ever went to the playoffs, if this team ever went to the Super Bowl with everything that happened, they should be considered the greatest culture, the greatest coach, whatever you want to think of, are the greatest of all time. Because everything that's happened to this team tells you they're not going anywhere. So feel justified, feel okay. We're in this together. There's going to be next year. And if this same shit happens to this team next year, this team's cursed. This is the most cursed team on the face of the planet. And I don't know what you would do with that. Because, again, I've said this 1,000 times. I'll say this one more time. What's happening to the 49ers this year has never happened. And I mean it. I'm confident when I say this. Has never happened to any other team ever. This is a first. So hang your hat on that, guys. It's justified. This season is justified. Everything has happened, makes sense, and if we make the playoffs, in my opinion, that's a bonus. If we beat the Lions, that's a bonus. There's things that you can still look forward to be like, okay, even though with everything happened, we still made the playoffs, which is crazy. And with everything happened, we still managed to beat the Lions, which is crazy. So anyway, I'm going to bounce, get out of here. I'm going to get some food. Got to go to work. I got to do some things, but I just thought I'd come on here and vent, hear what you guys have to say and hear what you guys think, if you agree or disagree. I appreciate you guys so much. Again, like we are in this together, right? We're in this together. All right. We're suffering together. We all have opinions. We all have our feelings. Everything that's happening to us right now. So, and I'm glad that you guys are here to support this channel and support each other. It's absolutely amazing. So, and we're going to continue to grow. This channel is going to continue to grow. And this channel is absolutely nothing without you guys. So thank you so much for supporting me, for supporting the 49ers and supporting this channel. It's real, and we're growing, and it's that much closer to my dream. And I may cry the moment like we're getting there, and it's because of you guys. So thank you so much for that. Appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Seriously. Michael Catanzaro. Sorry, brutal. I just destroyed your name. My apologies. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. You're awesome. You're awesome. Milwaukee, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Appreciate your comments as well. Papa J, of course. OG, always cool as fuck. Santa Clara fella, like, I can count on you, dude, putting some water in the empty cup, man. You're a good guy. I appreciate you, man. If you want to move on from the season, I totally get where you're coming from. It just looks like a wash. It does. Patrick and Jimmy fell asleep at halftime. Don't go looking at the score if you're feeling a little happy about yourself. Don't do that. Matthew Aceta says season ain't over till Fat Lady sings. I love that. I love that mentality there. Sam was in here. Thank you so much. 49ers Media, good to see you. Spider G, good to see you as well. Corey Soda, even though we disagree, thank you so much for coming here. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate the conversation, even if we disagree, because we're allowed to disagree. We're not always going to have the same opinion on things, even if we're both 49ers fans. That happens. Good to have you, man. Tyler Helton, coolest Chiefs fan I know, of course. There was another person here that's crucial. I don't want to forget him because they'll feel bad. Erica Me. Not a fan. You're not a fan of Brock Purdy, which is okay. You're allowed to feel that way. It's fine. Sam, Iris says Sam, and that's everybody. You guys are awesome. Be sure to like the live. It helps me out a lot, and it'll push this video out, and we can grow together, right? So, to everyone who watches this live later, sub if you haven't subbed already, right? Helps me out a lot, helps me grow, and you can be part of the community. Maybe even be an OG if you engage more in the lives, like you really be part of this community, because that's where they want it to be. At the end of the day, this channel is just one big conversation. We may have some topics that we talk about later, or I may have on the docket, And we may never get to those because what this channel is about is great conversations, like good conversation, disagreements, debate, whatever it may be. That's what I want this channel to be about. So sub if you like that. Like if you like the video. Appreciate it a lot. It helps make my 49ers heart go from here right now, or is that 3,000? I don't know. I can't think of the count on top of my head. 3,000 some hearts, then maybe someday 10K. So I appreciate you guys so much. Makes the 49ers grow from here to here. So thank you guys so much. All love, fam. I'll see you next live. Bang, bang, not a gang.